So it's another week, and the world seems to be talking about one thing outside of the professional wrestling world. And that seems to be the fact that the current president of the United States of America has decided not to run because he doesn't feel quite equipped to do so in the next term. So now I had some people talk to me about this, and they kind of asked me some questions. And the biggest question that came from all of that was, if he's not inept to do it in the future, what makes him capable of doing it now? I bring this over to you guys because you guys have, a little bit of say in this, I guess. And yeah, I mean, let's start, Chris, with you. We need to make sure that we unmute our mics.
I'm turning into OMD here, I swear to God, because this happened to me last night too. Bobby, how's it going? This is a hard pill for me to swallow, to be honest with you, because I was on the side of voting for Biden into the office because I know what Biden was able to do when he was the VP. He actually did a lot of good stuff as the VP with under Obama's administration. Right. But at the same time, because of me, how this affects me on a personal level, with seeing how Biden has gone downhill mentally, we'll say, I fully agree and understand that he does need to step down.
Right.
Because I did watch, I normally don't, but I did watch the thing, the State of the Union, of the Union this year. And yeah, he did not sound good. And the debate that he did with Trump the other day. Yeah, I'm on that side where, yeah, I think they need to look for somebody new to step into Biden's place and run against Trump.
OMD.
To be honest, I really didn't hear anything you said because the audio issues that I normally get plagued with plagued me. So I'm guessing we're discussing Biden stepping down. And I agree that, yes, it's time. I mean, we've seen it throughout his tenure as president. All of these issues.
Right.
And in all honesty, yes, if I was American, I would vote for Kamala Harris just to say I voted for Kamala. At the same time, I mean, it did lead to a little bit of angst for me as well over the weekend because I was on vacation, as everybody knows. And on the Saturday night, Donald Trump happened to be in the same city that I was on vacation.
Right.
Now, fortunately, we didn't come anywhere near that. I mean, 2 different venues, 2 different sides of town, I'm assuming.
Close enough. You could have parked, close to that and walked over to the festival, but
so it's going to be very interesting to see what happens. I do think, and personally, I'm not a Trump guy. So I think, in all honesty, both sides need to really find a new candidate and go with that and try and start fresh. I think even re-electing Obama, because he started to do a lot of good in the U.S. And why he got voted out or why he has never chosen to run again, I don't know.
Right. I can actually explain that one for you, OMD. There's a handshake agreement between all presidents that you only get 2 terms, and that's it.
Yes. That I knew. I thought he only had 1 term, though.
No, he was a 2-termer.
Oh.
Yeah.
That all started after FDR, I think it was, who had like 3 terms in office.
Right. I believe it was. I mean, only time will be able to tell what happens, and maybe it is time for some new blood to come in there. But for us, It's showtime. OMD is going to be plagued with his audio issues once again. But Chris, I know that you found a number of different things for us tonight, or a couple of things at least. And I have some things as well that I think we should discuss on the program. But let's start with you. What's one thing that you got for us tonight?
Yeah, this was actually something like, so when I go into searching for wrestling news stories, I sometimes don't expect to get the big stories, and I found a fairly big one here, and it's one that we've been talking about and one that we've been covering in the past, and that's AEW's TV deal. We knew that there was some trouble and some concern with whether or not they were going to get this TV deal. However, it is now expected that they are going to close out the new television deal with Warner, close out the deal with Warner Brothers, meaning that they are signing an extension. I'm actually happy about this because, again, I'm not a fan of AEW. I'll flat out admit this, but I'm glad that there is still an avenue for AEW to showcase their product for wrestling. And I'm glad that Warner Brothers decided to extend on that deal. I'm glad that we still have a home for other wrestlers in this situation.
Right.
It's not, I can't see where it says how long the deal is expected. I'm assuming that once that deal is signed, we're going to get the numbers on that one.
But because it isn't signed yet.
No, it's only expected to be signed.
Yes.
But at the same time, I'm glad that this is going to happen, because whenever something in sports is said is expected, it usually means it is going to happen.
Usually it does. OMD, you got anything to weigh in on this?
Like Chris, I am excited for this. I am glad there is still that alternative in wrestling. I am excited for AEW if their product is on the way back up, as I have been hearing a lot lately. I haven't actually seen it. The fact that, yes, this deal is tentative from what I read on it earlier. Right now, it is agreed to in principle and on paper, but nothing has been made official. Nothing has been signed. With streaming going to Max for pay-per-views and all of that, I think a company like Amazon may have missed the boat in trying to do this, but good for AEW in staying with who they know and doing what's best for them as a business.
Okay. I'm just thankful that, like you said, Chris, that there is going to be somewhere secondary for people to go and to shine, per se. I was a huge fan of AEW in the beginning, and I've started working 2 jobs and haven't really had a lot of time to be able to watch a lot of professional wrestling as of late.
Yeah.
Although I still catch, highlights and stuff like that, but it is just a little bit more difficult for me to catch each one of these shows on a weekly basis, minus Monday Night Raw when we do the Raw Patrol. But
and you missed out on a doozy of an episode of Raw last night, man.
I heard I'm gonna have to rewatch it, or watch it. It's PVR'd, so I've got that available for me. But I'm happy that AEW is going to be landing that deal once again to stay where they are, essentially with Warner Brothers Discovery. It's a good partnership for them to have, and if they can tighten up the strings a little bit and maybe cut down on maybe a couple of things, it has the potential to become amazing on Warner Brothers or Fox, who owns.
How about not hot-shotting angles when you sign big name wrestlers like Will Ospreay? Build to those big angles that we want to see Will Ospreay do and whatnot, you know?
Yep.
But OMD, you went back, you had said something about HBO Max possibly streaming AEW.
Yes.
What does this mean for us up here in Canada? Because Crave TV has HBO Max. Does that mean we get AEW pay-per-views?
I'm not sure. That's just what I read earlier when I read the article.
Because if that's the case, then sign me up, because I've got Crave and I've got Max on my Crave, and I don't want to fork out $80 for AEW pay-per-views.
Right. And I am intrigued, and I'm really hoping that, I think one of the things that really detracted me away from AEW in the first place is that when they first started out, you didn't, and I know you didn't have as many people on their roster as you do now, but they started it out when you'd have Kenny Omega on one show, the Young Bucks on the next week, and then Cody on the following week. You didn't have to have all of your big names on every episode. And now it's gotten to the point where, and I know WWE is still bad for it, but it's just the same people, the same names over and over again. And there's no directive.
I mean, I have to disagree with that a little bit. I think that there is directive for that. If you're not showing your stars and the storylines, people are going to forget about them. So, I mean, you really can't just kind of, you got 6 storylines going. You can't just focus on one a week.
Right.
Because then in 6 weeks' time, it's going to mean absolutely nothing when it comes back to that. So you kind of have to have those main stories going on. And that's, I think that's one of the reasons why the WWE has, Raw, SmackDown, NXT, for them to be able to do what they need to do there. But then you've got like these smaller shows that they're doing as well, where they can showcase those other talents that aren't getting the shine on the main television programs. And then even incorporating social media and using the X platform for speed as well. A new concept that's allowed us to see these guys that should be in the upper echelon of Raw or SmackDown, but there just isn't the availability for that right now. So moving them over to something like that allows them for that. So we have to have these people, these same people there every week. It'd be like if we were watching let's say The Simpsons, right? Okay. So we know The Simpsons revolves around, the Simpson family.
Right.
But then we're going to only focus on them in one episode. And then the next week's episode is going to be on Flanders. And the next week episode is going to be on the Wiggums. And the next week episode is going to be on, Willie.
Yeah.
You can't do that. You're always going to have those top people that are there on absolutely every show with your background, I guess.
Right.
You could almost call them, who are going to be there in a little bit of a fashion.
Right.
Yeah.
And maybe not every week.
Yeah, it's definitely not like how it was in the 80s, where we'd tune into superstars and they would focus on 1 or 2 storylines on that episode. But then we'd have Lord Alfred Hayes come in with the weekly update and tell us all about all the other storylines going on,
Right. Yeah. It's good to agree, and it's good to agree to disagree, and it's good to disagree sometimes, because that's how conversations happen, and that's how good things happen as well.
Yeah.
I want to stick with AEW for a minute, and a good thing for one person. longtime ring announcer and personality Dasha Gonzalez was let go from AEW earlier this year. So that sucks. But
I like her.
Me too. Me too.
Yep.
100% I did. So then we had Alicia Atut and Arcady come in as backstage interviewees. In Arcady's case, ring announcer for Rampage and Ring of Honor, respectively. But they still kind of maybe felt like they were missing a little something. And I think that this person is going to really be able to bring a lot to the roster for AEW. And it's not even somebody that's going to be performing in the ring. We are looking at Melissa Santos, who previously had worked for Lucha Underground, has made her way to AEW, where she's going to be used in the capacity of a backstage interviewer and ring announcer as well. OMD, I know that you have watched some Lucha Underground.
Yes.
Chris, I'm not sure if you have watched much Lucha Underground.
Sadly, I couldn't, because anytime it was on, I was at school.
Gotcha.
Right.
Okay.
I really started to catch it after Lucha Underground had been canceled, removed from the airwaves.
Right.
I've got it. But I was also big on Melissa Santos with her time in Impact.
Right. Yep.
Where
but she was there.
Yes, where she again served as a backstage interviewer and a ring announcer.
Yep.
And she was fantastic. I know she was also instrumental in bringing a lot of people in, specifically, because of her work in Lucha Underground with her husband, Brian Cage.
Yep.
Bringing him in and bringing in a lot of those talents as well when they would come in for their guest appearances. And even her work when she got involved with Taya Valkyrie and Johnny Impact.
Right.
So I am excited because I've missed seeing Melissa Santos on my screen, hearing her voice.
Mm-hmm.
So it's going to be exciting to see if she has put in more work elsewhere, gained more experience, and is able to put a little bit more into what she can already bring.
Right. And to my understanding, there really hasn't been anything more since really 2019. I haven't seen very much more from her. So for those that don't know, she actually is trained. She had trained as a pro wrestler, and she did compete on Women of Wrestling back in 2013. Then she was with Lucha Underground 2014 to 2018 when the promotion closed. She wrestled one match there, teaming with Phoenix to take on Marty, the Moth Martinez, and Mariposa. And then TNA in 2019. So that's what I'm seeing right now. Chris, do you know anything about her at all, about Melissa Santos?
I've read up on her through Bill Apter's magazine sheets.
Okay, yeah.
I'm giving Bill Apter credit this week because Uncle Dave can. Bill. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
No, but anytime I've read anything that Bill Apter has had to say about her, it's just gotten me more and more intrigued about her.
Okay.
So to be able to see her on AEW, I'm excited as a new person coming in and not knowing who she really is. I'm excited to see what she can bring to the table.
But that means that you're going to have to check her out on AEW, though.
I can swallow my pride and watch AEW.
Okay.
There's wrestlers there that I still enjoy. Like I still like Adam Copeland. I still like Christian. I do like Luchasaurus or Killswitch as he is now known as.
Yeah, Killswitch now. Yeah.
He's still Judas Devlin in my eyes, so.
Right.
He's
Name
also
changes, yeah.
He's also Austin Madelson, who competed on Big Brother to me as well.
That's true. That's true. A reality TV show.
Mm-hmm.
There's some reality that's hitting Logan Paul right now.
Oh, yeah.
From a large organization called the Olympics.
Yeah.
So, I'm sure you guys have seen this, but we do need to talk about this because I don't know how many other people are going to really talk about this. Logan Paul and his cohort KSI created Prime energy drink or Prime drink.
Mm-hmm.
There is allegations going around from the United States Olympic and Paralympic Committee that they have filed a lawsuit against them for using official words related to the Olympics without permission. Specifically, the terms Olympic, going for gold, and Team USA. So now all of that aside, because we know that Logan's just going to be like, yeah, okay, whatever, pay out whatever needs to be done. See ya later. Goodbye. I want to take a look at these terms. So can we be sued now that I have used the term Olympic or going for gold or Team USA?
What about WWE? Can they not be sued for doing that when they had Kurt Angle being the Olympic gold medalist? Right? How many times has Kurt Angle also used that term going for gold when he was going after John Cena for the championship?
Right.
How many times when Kurt Angle had that Olympic gold medal open angle, if you remember that, when Eugene took the gold medal from him, Kurt Angle again used that term in his attempts to try and get back the gold. Now, to further on what you were saying, Carl, these trademarks are exclusively licensed to Coca-Cola. So I'm a little bit surprised as to why Coke isn't being the one that's suing them, because Coke has the rights to use those words.
Well, right. So Coca-Cola paid a large sum of money to use the rights to the Olympic branding.
Mm-hmm.
So I think what's happening right now is that the Prime drinks sponsored, the drink in question is a flavor that was sponsored by Olympic gold medalist Kevin Durant.
Yes.
On which the Olympic terms on with the Olympic terms on the label to cite the basketball player's qualifications. So on the bottle itself. So I've got my Dr. Pepper here.
Yeah.
So if this Dr. Pepper on this side has a picture of Kevin Durant that says Team USA going for gold at the Olympics, where's the harm in that? Because we are using words to describe this person who is an Olympic gold medalist from Team USA who's going for gold, which are terms that are used everywhere. Now they're saying that they're, it's an infringement because they're making profit from using those words. I think this is getting a little bit out of hand, to be honest with you. When you take a look at at words, when you're looking at words, right?
Yep.
Words that are used commonly all the time. Dr. Pepper's great, isn't it, Bobby? I love Dr. Pepper. That's all I drink. I love it. I got another one sitting right here that's fully closed in case I need it. This just irks me so bad. I can understand, okay, Coca-Cola Okay, that's a branding.
Mm-hmm.
So if somebody is using Coca-Cola and making money from selling Coca-Cola t-shirts, by all means, okay, that's an infringement. But if we get a $5 donation from somebody over on Twitch, and because we have used the Team USA going for gold and talked about Olympic, does that now mean that we can be sold or we can be sued because, well, we just made a profit from using those terms?
Mm-hmm.
When is this too much?
It already is too much. I mean, it's because Kevin Durant right now is one of the spokespeople for Prime.
Yes.
So yeah, I totally get like putting him on one of their bottles that they made specifically for him, listing all of his accomplishments, Team USA, go for gold. It also has me wondering, like, there are other companies out there. Like I went to Food Basics today, and I couldn't tell you just how many products I saw that had Olympic something Olympic related as I walked through the store.
Right. And I mean, it's probably going to be proud sponsor of the Olympics.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, and we are looking here at the States. We are looking at the U.S. Olympic Committee suing, a rather large and a major company in Prime, even though they are still up and coming. They are well established, well on their way. KSI and Logan Paul have already made their millions. But this is the backbone of America. If we don't like it, let's sue. So if lawsuits were an Olympic sport, the U.S. Olympic Committee would win it.
Actually, probably not. A lot of those frivolous lawsuits get thrown out.
Yeah, a lot of them do.
I'm expecting this one to get thrown out because what they're demanding is a bit much.
Right. So now they're talking about Olympic branding. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So I have a picture here that I am looking at of the Kevin Durant Prime bottle, which just has at the top Kevin Durant's name, Prime down the side as usual, with a gold star in the colors red, blue, and gold. Now on the back side of the bottle, it has 3X, so 3-time Olympic gold medalist and counting. What makes a true Olympian? Something Team USA, a point wizard, a master of the mid-range skill, or a master of the mid-range skill, or something, termination, heart. These are the marks of his game. Bottles up because when KD steps on the court, he's going for gold. Okay. I have a very tiny picture that I needed to really zoom into to see that. Yeah. So I apologize that I didn't, I know 100% I did not get all of that correct. But that is what's on the bottle. Where is the problem?
I really don't see it because I was trying to visualize that as you were reading it. There was no use of the Olympic rings.
Nope, not at all.
No use of the Team USA Olympic logo.
Right?
Nope,
no use
none of those logos.
Gold, silver, or bronze. I mean, yes, you had that one gold ring, but no silver or bronze. So, yeah. I know that they apparently filed. You said there was a red, blue, and gold ring.
Nope.
Star.
A gold star. Yeah.
So yeah, it's using the Olympic colors, which, by the way, nobody has rights on colors. It's just the colors of the Olympics with minus the green and black in the shape of a star. That's, again, I'm just going to say this. This is frivolous for the U.S. Olympic Committee to be doing this. What they're looking for, though, is a little bit outrageous to me, too. They're looking to recover all profits from the alleged infringement and is demanding, it says, millions of dollars in the article I'm looking at, and it's in quotations, by the way.
They are looking for all profits.
I just said that.
Yeah. It's like a few weeks ago, I went to Circle K late at night to get coffee because I had run out and forgot to buy some. I saw in Circle K a blue Prime bottle with AM34 and the Leafs logo, an Austin Matthews Prime bottle. Now, I wasn't buying it, but, you know, where does it end? Yes, you're going to get your celebrity endorsers.
Yeah.
If Kevin Durant is endorsing Prime, then where's the issue?
Yeah, because it just sounds like it just sounds to me like with the Olympics around the corner and Kevin Durant being the spokesperson right now for Prime, they were just listing off what he's accomplished as far as being in the Olympics go.
Yeah.
That's how it looks to me. That. Yeah. Yep. That's how it looks to me for sure.
It feels so weird that I'm defending Logan Paul right now.
Right? I get that. I definitely do. But this is beyond just Logan Paul right now.
Yeah.
This is a huge issue on the company of Prime, which I shake my head. I just don't freaking know. This makes absolutely zero sense to me, especially looking at what I've seen.
Yeah, and this isn't the first time that Prime has been taken to court. I mean, the U.S. government tried to sue them last year over health issues regarding the drink, though. Completely different situation.
Yep.
Yes, it was due to the caffeine issues, but that issue should fall on parents. Like, who is letting their 6-year-old drink a caffeine-loaded Prime? That falls on parents, not on.
Okay. So OMD, I'm gonna tell you like what happened with this lawsuit here. Not a lot of people know this, but there are actual like certain laws for the amount of caffeine, the amount of sugars that can go into the food. The reason why the U.S. government stepped in was because they felt that there was too much caffeine in the Prime drinks.
Yeah.
And there's, as I said, there's a certain like limit that you can put as far as your caffeine, your sugars, and all that go for your food.
Yes. But I find it funny because then you look at other things like coffees and a thing like Death Wish coffee or Black Rifle in the States, which are loaded with caffeine 2 to 3 times the recommended amount. 1 cup is enough to supposedly keep you going for 3 days.
Apparently.
Yeah.
I've never tried it, so I don't know. But
right.
I'm not a coffee drinker, so I don't know either.
I have tried Black Rifle because you can get it here up at the Trading Post.
Okay.
Oh, cool.
But it's also the Canadian version. I could have picked some up at a sporting goods store when I was stopped on vacation to stretch my legs.
Right.
I didn't because I wasn't going to pay $30 Canadian for a bag the same size as I can get here for $15.
Right. So here it is, guys. I found a decent picture. There it is. Okay. You guys can see that there's no Olympic rings. There's no Team USA on there. They're using similar colors, possibly.
They are using similar colors.
Right.
And the Prime logo sort of looks like the font that they use on the Team USA logo. But again, you can't sue people over a font.
Right. That's their regular font. That's the font that all the Prime bottles have.
Right.
It's just colored. like all the other ones are colored.
Yeah.
So I want all of you that are watching this live or after the fact, I want all of you to take a look at this and give us your thoughts. Leave us a comment down below on the YouTube, or if you guys are listening to this on Good Pods or any other podcast out there, catcher that is out there, leave us a comment letting us know your thoughts on the Kevin Durant Prime fiasco. That's what we'll call it.
Yeah.
So you guys had enough time to look at that, and
Yep.
okay, there we go. So
yeah,
I don't know what more to say about that. I'm done with that conversation. We're gonna leave it to the viewers and the listeners to give us their opinion on that. But I thought it was interesting, and I don't think that many people are going to be discussing that.
No.
I mean, the Olympics being around the corner, the Olympics always come with controversy, so it didn't surprise me that we saw something like this today.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. So,
and this is, you've got the Olympics with the opening ceremony starting Friday, and then you've got SummerSlam a week later.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. What other news do you guys have?
Nothing huge. But we have another WWE superstar who is making a small transition to Hollywood.
Oh, yes. Yes. And that is?
That is the Scottish Warrior, Drew McIntyre. And he is teaming up with Batista in a movie. Veteran assassin Joe Flood, who is diagnosed with a life-threatening illness, authorizes a kill on himself to avoid the pain that is destined to follow. After ordering the kill, he finds out he was misdiagnosed and then must fend off the army of his former colleagues who are trying to kill him. So you've got Batista, you've got Drew McIntyre. I can't see who else is actually in the movie, but it does say Sophia Boutella, Terry Crews, Scott Adkins, Marco Zaror, Palm Clemente, and Ben Kingsley. So it's a pretty stacked cast. Yeah. So it's going to be interesting to see what's going to happen there. And if this is going to affect Drew's potential future title runs, what he intends to do throughout this contract, is he going to slowly start to make the transition and follow in the steps of Dwayne and John and Batista?
Right.
Or does he just do this as a one-off, like we've seen others like John Moxley, Randy Orton, Big Show,
Ted DiBiase Jr.
Yes.
Sorry, I had to make fun of his Marine 2 thing, which actually Marine 2 wasn't that bad. He was actually good in it.
The Marine 2 was better than the Marine.
You take that back, because I actually like the first one, because Robert Patrick was just phenomenal in that one.
Robert Patrick was. It was the rest of the movie. It was, I'm going to run through a swamp. But Robert Patrick always delivers.
Yeah.
Yeah. Chris, what do you think about that?
I'm actually excited for this, and I'm just going to say right now, I don't think it's going to affect anything that Drew McIntyre is going to do as far as his WWE career goes, because the most they're probably going to do is have him come on like Conan O'Brien every once in a while to promote the movie. Batista was actually just on Jimmy Fallon the other night, so.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Nice. Yeah, I'm excited for this mostly because I kind of want to see Terry Crews and Batista share a scene together.
Right. And apparently, speaking of Batista, as it is his career related now, he has apparently reduced his workout regimen at the gym and is not even going as hard or as much as he used to drop muscle mass to be able to slide in and out of different roles.
Okay. It makes sense.
Yeah.
And I mean, there's enough trainers in Hollywood that are able to get people to look the way that they need to for certain roles.
Right.
So,
yeah,
I don't think that it would be very much of an issue for Batista to bulk back if he needed to. Right. So,
right.
Yeah.
I think it's fantastic, though, that we're.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Sorry. OMD, I know you said apparently Batista has changed his look. It's really not apparently. It is, because when he was on Fallon, he looked completely different. Like a lot smaller than he usually is.
Okay.
I think it's fantastic that we have got people venturing out into different avenues of things.
Right.
Especially somebody like Batista. I was a fan of Batista, in his time in the squared circle within the WWE. And then when he was gone, it was like, well, damn, like I actually enjoyed watching this person. And then to see that he's gone into film was great, because then, hey, now I have another avenue, another place where I can see this person that I enjoyed watching. Right. So I think that that's fantastic. That's beautiful for me anyways.
So not gonna lie, I'm one of the few that hasn't watched all the Marvel movies in the way that they're supposed to be watched. But when I found out that that Batista was doing Guardians of the Galaxy, he was the sole reason that I wanted to watch that movie.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I didn't know any of the other actors other than Vin Diesel. I'm like, okay, Batista and Vin Diesel doing a movie together? I got to see this.
Right?
Yeah.
We
Seems
do know
right
as well that Drew McIntyre, along with a number of other superstars like Tiffany Stratton, have also signed on with that Paradigm Talent Agency. So
right.
I wonder if that is playing a role in any of this as well, in getting... I know Drew McIntyre had filmed this movie last year or a year and a half ago. Now we're just getting the confirmation that it will be out in theaters come this September.
Yeah.
Okay.
Can I take a moment to get some report some breaking news as far as Raw programming goes right now?
Yeah, of course.
For the next 2 weeks, for anybody who's in the US, because of the Olympics, Raw will be broadcast on Sci-Fi.
Yes, as will NXT.
Yeah.
Very good to know. That affects us zero.
No, but we do have
as
American
of right
viewers. As of right now, yes, because we don't. I'm not even sure what the Canadian Olympic schedule looks like. So
probably going to be CBC and
TSN maybe.
maybe. You guys have anything else that you guys are looking at to talk about this week?
I do have. I know that we talked about it in our chat here. Jesus, my chat's not. My sister texts me and it messes up my chats on me. So,
well, we're not going to our final topic. I'm just.
No, I wanted to talk about this. We've talked about this in the past. Because Tubi, we've talked about the idea of Tubi looking to get into the wrestling game. They tried to get a deal with MLW. That deal fell through because Tubi is actually owned by Fox. WWE airs on Fox, but now Tubi is looking to get back into the wrestling game because of the fact that WWE is moving away from Fox right now. It says here, I thought it said MLW. Carl and I talked about this on Facebook, but it's looking like they are looking to start their own promotion to air on Tubi. That's what it's looking like. The article had said. What do you guys make of this situation? We're creating a new home for more wrestling by the looks of it.
I would be intrigued. And And I know because I did read the article, so that we know that they don't want to get involved with any other promotions. But I think maybe if there's a person to contact about getting a promotion and a TV deal, it's a guy who is synonymous with the WWE Rivals series on A&E, and that is Freddie Prinze Jr.
That was something that I had thought about as well. We know that Freddie has been trying to get his own company going and hasn't got a company as of yet. So this could be that opportunity for Freddie Prinze Jr. to get that ball rolling. Now, I just want to point out that we still really don't know a whole lot surrounding this, other than Tubi wants to have some professional wrestling on their network.
Yeah.
Right.
And they already kind of do have pro wrestling there. I mean, Dark Side of the Ring episodes are on Tubi currently. I don't know if they're in the US, but up here in Canada on Tubi, they are there. It says here, Tubi is interested in creating a new wrestling product rather than partnering with an existing promotion, which again, I'm all for, because like I said, that creates a whole other place for a whole other avenue for wrestlers to explore.
Right. But it says a new wrestling product.
Yes, that's
does not say company.
Mm-hmm.
So this product could very well just be a like seeing guys go through training, or going around and taking a look at the pro wrestling collections that people have and doing interviews with people who are avid fans and collectors of pro wrestling merchandise and memorabilia. So that's again, why I say at this point, we really have no idea what it is other than a product of some sort, because it not necessarily is going to be a promotion, but could definitely be something totally different relating to pro wrestling.
Absolutely.
Which regardless, I'm still excited about, because I love the fact that wrestling is cool again, and we're getting a wide variety of different types of wrestling type products as far as our media goes again.
Absolutely.
I'm very intrigued to see what Tubi has to say about this, and I'm going to be following this story as more and more comes out on it.
Right. Oh, for sure. For sure. And I think that that's the way that it should be for all of us, as we really need to just continue to watch, all of these different stories that are coming out and seeing where they go.
If it's a whole new promotion, again, sign me up. I'll watch it.
Right.
So I want to talk a little bit about, before we get to our final topic, which we kind of covered a little bit of it today already, but we'll just kind of go back to it again afterwards. But I want to talk about a sold out arena from this past weekend. I want to talk about Slammiversary. Yes. I know that a few of you were in a room together, and that you were able to watch the show. From what I understand, to my understanding, the event took place on July 20th at the Verdun Auditorium in Montreal, Quebec, Canada, and celebrated the promotion's 22nd anniversary. And it's the 20th event underneath the Slammiversary chronology. Taking place on the 20th. It is the 20th. And featured wrestlers from AAA and NXT. Is that right?
Oh yeah. Wesley was there. The No Quarter Catch Club was there.
Wow. I want your guys's over. I haven't seen it yet. I have seen a few things that have come from it, like PCO and Steph DeLander. What? Okay.
That's the only thing I missed from that one.
Oh, geez. Okay. Okay.
Like you, Carl, I was unable to see it. I was heavy in a mosh pit. For me, hearing that all of these surprises were coming outside of Wesley and, of course, No Quarter Catch Crew.
Yep.
The only real surprise that I heard of was Earl Hebner.
Okay.
And it was really, so where's the earth-shattering kaboom on this? From what I read earlier today, apparently several talents and several of the surprises had flights canceled.
Right. They did. Because of that worldwide outage.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Which sucks, but we have to sometimes take a look past that,
right,
and look at the actual event
reasoning
itself, right?
Yeah.
And the event was actually fun. I had fun watching it.
And you know what? I'd never put it past TNA, especially for shows like Slammiversary, Bound for Glory. I mean, those are their two big ones a year. So I never put it past them to knock it out of the park for those.
And to my understanding, they did knock it out of the park.
Yeah, they did.
I have heard,
but my problem with the show was the crowd. Montreal is typically a hot show or a hot crowd. They were quiet for most of the stuff that they were doing, that was going on. But everything that they were doing got a rise out of me, at least, with the exception of Earl Hebner showing up and recreating the Montreal screw job. I'm like, come on, like, it's been almost 30 years. Like, come on, let's move on from that, you know?
Right.
But the show, like I said, the show was enjoyable. Maybe from my vantage point, maybe the crowd wasn't mic'd up, but they sounded pretty silent to me.
Okay. That could very well be.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, 100%. That could very, very well be that they were not mic'd up. Sure.
Right. I know I've seen it a number of years ago when TNA did Bound for Glory in Ottawa. The crowd was dead, but there was also a casting agency looking to hire people to go in and play fans.
Okay.
But that was during a time when TNA was kind of on the struggling side of things.
Yes.
They were trying to put themselves as a number 2 promotion when they shouldn't have been focusing on that, really.
And what I will say about that show is it felt like, I mean, yes, the crowd that was there was hot, but the crowd wasn't mic'd up. The show itself was awful. It was almost like Sin Cara had produced every match, just filled with botches.
Mm-hmm.
But I've always been a fan of TNA. You guys know this. I've always considered TNA to be a number 2 and a stronger alternative than AEW.
Right.
I even at one time held TNA above WWE.
Yeah, I could definitely see that for sure.
I kind of did too at one time when Scott D'Amore was running Team Canada. I thought what they were doing there was a lot better than what was going on in WWE at that time.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
So all in all, if you guys have not seen the 20th edition of Slammiversary,
check it out.
Definitely check it out. You probably can still find on YouTube for free the pre-show.
It's still
to
there.
that.
It's still there. I saw it there on TNA's channel today.
Awesome. And you can get at least 4 matches from that. Maybe not super long matches, but you're going to get good matches to really show you what can happen and what will happen during the show itself. So
Yeah,
very happy with Slammiversary.
Check out as I'm saying, Rich Swann. Check out the Rich Swann match that was on the pre-show. That was actually pretty cool.
Okay.
I'm seeing Rich Swann, and I'm seeing Cedric Alexander making his way to the ring in NXT, and I'm like,
gotcha.
God, it's been forever since I seen him in a ring.
Right?
Yeah. So Kushida took on Rich Swann. So take a look at that match. Yeah.
Sorry.
That's okay. We've got Mr. Chris Best doing a little action going on here. Mr. Best, are you with us?
Yeah, no. The reason I say check out that match with I'm here now. The reason I say check out that match is because I've never seen Kushida work heel, and it was awesome to see him do that.
Nice.
Really,
Sounds
Kushida
good.
worked heel when Rich Swann is actually the heel?
They both worked heel in the match, and it was intriguing to see.
Okay. Yes.
Yeah. I do want to give out some good congratulations during that Slammiversary event. Congratulations to fellow Canadian Mike Bailey. That's all I'm going to say. Congratulations to Nick Nemeth. That's all I'm going to say. Congratulations, and we love you, PCO. Those are 3 big ones that I wanted to make sure I said something about.
PCO, I need you to come to the Sioux so I can put you up beside Jacques here.
Right? So I think it is time that we make our way to our Showstopper segment. Chris, what did you have in store for our Showstopper today?
Bobby Lashley, MVP. Contracts are wrapping up. It doesn't look like they're coming back. They were taking off the internal WWE roster, which typically is a sign that they are done.
There was another name included in there as well.
Tamina. Yeah. Right.
Yes.
I had her gone like a long time ago, though. I'm not going to lie. But Tamina surprised me as well because, I mean, she's been with the WWE since 2008, I want to say, when she came up with the Usos.
Around there, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
But Bobby Lashley's departure kind of took me by surprise because they were doing stuff with him up until he got hurt, because Bobby's been out with an injury lately, as has MVP. MVP's been receiving treatment for his injury as well.
Yep.
My question to you guys is, if this is the case, if Bobby Lashley and MVP are on their way out, because maybe they could be still negotiating a deal, where do they go?
Nowhere.
No, I think it's time. I think MVP, he wanted that last run before, and to let his son see him do what he does.
That's why he's getting the treatment that he's going after right now.
So now he can go home, be with his son, be a dad, and he can sign a Legends deal. He can make appearances, but he doesn't need to get back in the ring, take the beating, take the bumps, and take the injuries. Lashley, I could see him go maybe Japan, or maybe go back to MMA.
Right.
But really, I don't want to see him go anywhere else and potentially get lost in the shuffle. I think Impact would be a great place for him to go, but again, it's just going to be Lashley versus Moose, and there's really nobody else there for Lashley.
Some things that kind of ran through my head during all of this news was the Hurt Business.
Mm-hmm.
So now
there's been talks of reuniting.
Right. Could we see reunite of the Hurt Business in AEW with Shelton Benjamin?
See, that's my worry with a guy like Bobby Lashley's stature. It's going to be just like what I said about Will Ospreay earlier to me. Lashley's going to come in. They're going to give him like 6 months worth of feuds and finish it off in 2. And then Tony's going to just put him aside and be like, I'm done with that toy right now.
Yeah, it's really not something I want to see. The Hurt Business was taken away from us too soon. Don't get me wrong. But now here you are, 3+ years after the fact. It's dead and buried.
Right.
Please, we've seen Lashley and MVP together in TNA. We've seen them together in WWE. We've seen them together in multiple promotions.
Hey, that works for him. It works for them all the time because Lashley is not that great at promos, but on the opposite end, MVP is fantastic at promos.
Oh, absolutely. But again, it's the same thing. It's another reunion I don't need to see. I do not need to see Matt and Jeff Hardy potentially show up in NXT. Mm-hmm. And, I don't need the Hardys. I don't really need Edge and Christian to show up as a tag team in AEW.
Which that's probably going to happen at some point.
Absolutely it will. And they'll take on the team of Bully Ray and Brother Devon.
For me, I can't remember which one of you said it, but it struck a chord with me. But I really wouldn't mind seeing Bobby Lashley go to Japan. They like their big guy wrestlers over there, but they would know how to push Bobby Lashley.
Yep. And he can hit. So, I'm going to say it right there. Dream match is Lashley versus Tomohiro Ishii.
Murder Grandpa.
Yeah. I was going to say Murder Grandpa would be great. Yep. Yeah. So, just so that everybody knows, currently, we still don't know. MVP is still listed on the external. So, on the website.
And Lashley is still there too.
Tamina is still there as well. So what the news that we've received is that it removed from the internal roster.
Right.
So
MVP had been producing matches even after the Hurt Business has sort of faded away from all of that. So it's interesting. He's seemingly confirmed that he's done. He is departing.
Right.
With Tamina, I could see her going to work with Natalia at the Dungeon 2.0 and be a trainer. I could see her go and work in WXW as a trainer and to bring up more members of the Samoan Dynasty. Carry on the family legacy there.
Yeah.
And even Lashley, he's reaching the age of 50. Yes, he's a specimen, but it might be time for him to start looking at hanging it up.
Maybe. Yeah, that's why, when you said OMD, when you said he could go to MMA, I'm like, he's a little too old for that now.
You guys have anything else we need to get out there when it comes to pro wrestling news?
In that regard, though, we're looking at all of these names retiring, and then we've got, of course, the Steph Becker signing, the Julia signing. And Delta, another woman from Australia, has signed with WWE. I don't know much about Delta.
Right. We'll touch on that at a later time.
Yeah. I'm just going to point this out here. How interesting is it that we're talking about Bobby Lashley and Cedric Alexander's on our screen, former member of the Hurt Business himself?
Right.
That is true. For all of you that are watching this after the fact, here is where you can find all of the shows that happen right here on Turnbuckle Studios. And that is where you can find us. For those of you that are listening to us, I urge you go and check out our YouTube page, Turnbuckle_Studios. And this week I will make sure that I put that video up there and try to leave it as something for you guys to see immediately. I'll see if I can make that happen so that you can go there and see when all of the programs.
Yeah, you should be able to set it up as like a primary video on the homepage for Turnbuckle Studio. So,
OMD on the socials, where can the people find you?
The people can find me on Facebook, Daniel Horisic, HRYCYK. On Snapchat, One Man Dynamic, capitals on O, M, and D. On Twitch at OMD17 and Discord at OMD6370.
Beautiful. Mr. Chris Best.
All right, you guys can find me youtube.com at CBRS Entertainment, twitch.tv, CBRS_entertainment, threads.net at CBestFilms83, facebook.com, Chris.best83, tiktok.com, CBRS.entertainment.
We do have a shop as well. If you guys want to go and find yourself some Turnbuckle Studios merchandise, that is at carlcarafel.redbubble.com. Carl Carafel, KARUFEL.redbubble.com. And if you are seeing this and want to take us on the go with you, go and check out our show on GoodPods, goodpods.com/podcast/turnbuckle-talk-264524. You can go there, listen to the shows, and even leave us a rating, which pushes us up a little bit higher in the rankings of the top 100 throughout the week, the month, and all time. Go and check out Good Pods to listen to Turnbuckle Talk. And you can find me at my link tree, linktr.ee/Carl Carafel, linktr.ee/KARLKARUFEL. For Chris Best, OMD, and myself, Carl Carafel, we thank you for listening to us this week. Remember, everyone, the world's a scary place. Take care of each other.